Roy Keane was a world-class player.
Yeah.
I did play, I think, for Brighton against him when he was at Forest, and he was only a young player coming through, and he played that a game down there, and I think everybody knew that he was a talent.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he was a pivotal part of Man United's success. Very, very hard taskmaster, and I think he played the game as he wanted everybody else to play.
I loved it. I love him. I think he's amazing. He's actually a psychopath and a nutter. But I also think he is a protector and a doer of what he says he's going to do. I think he shoots from the hip, and I think as long as you don't take things personally with him, I think he's very businessman-like, he's very professional, and he does the job that he says he's going to do, and he wins. He protects his team, and he's another Brian Robson, he's another leader, and another inspirational captain that you know have been very lucky to have.
You know, I think if Roy Keane was asked that question, you know, he would probably even say how good Brian Robson was as a captain. You know, and I'm sure Roy took, you know, part of his role in becoming captain. He probably looked at stuff that Brian Robson did to make himself a better captain.
Looking at him as a footballer,
yeah.
I admire him as a footballer. Great player, box to box, gives 100%, and did very, very well for Manchester United.
The thing about him as well is that it's good to see someone who's happy to criticise his ex-team, and I'm sure that he would criticise Forest as well, and I'm sure he would criticise Celtic as well. Is that I think that probably not enough of them who are on are for whatever reason maybe a bit reticent to say anything about their ex-club.
Pitch with him, you know, he wants 100%, and he makes sure you get it. He makes sure he gets it as well.
In that position of sitting in front of the back four, but there's no way Roy would just sit there and just take this role up as a holding midfield player, because he'll say that's a load of rubbish. He knows he could get into the opponent's box, make a goal or score a goal. So I put Roy in there just to test him to see if he can still run from deep positions as he used to when he was a younger man. I could have put Roy at right back. Roy would mostly be better than Dennis at right back. I could put him at centre half. He would even love the opportunity to see if he could be better than Big Pete. He would want to prove it. That's what Roy was about. So,
yeah, we heard Paul Parker said he picked Roy Keane because if you put Roy Keane in goal, he would have tried to have been better than Schmeichel just because that was his mentality.
Yeah, you know, Roy, you know, his standards were up there, and it's a fantastic way to be. You know, you keep your standards up there, and he never ever let them slip. That's the way he was, and that's what made him a fantastic player.
Keane was a brilliant captain, honestly. The best captain I've ever had. And
say Roy Keane as well, because if you gave the ball away, if Roy Keane hadn't shouted at you in a training section, then you knew you'd done okay. So
you used to hate being in his team and training because if you give the ball away, but you used to hate being against him because, you know, he trained exactly like he played and would get stuck in, you know, so you were in a no-win situation.
He's very much like that in the dressing room, you know, a spade's a spade, and you know, whatever you see is he sees things very black and white. This is right and this is wrong, and if you don't agree with him, then up yours. He really doesn't give two hoots.
He really has always said what he thinks.
Yeah,
and then most of the time, Roy's backed up by his own example. So when he was a player, he would tell players what he wanted, what he expected, and that was a huge part of the success that Manchester United had when Roy was playing and when Roy was captain, about the demands of being a professional and the demands of being a Manchester United player.
And that's the thing, he did praise you a lot as well, just that everyone didn't see that. You know, when you're in the changing room or walking off, he praised you a lot, or he'd try and help you out. But you know, the most obvious bit was where if you weren't playing well or you did a bad pass, you would see him give you a good rollicking. But that was part and parcel of it, and I loved it because it just meant that, you know, you need to step your game up.
I took a team as well when I was managing to the Stadium of Light, and he was manager there, and I have to say he was sweetness and light. He was fantastic with me. We had a good conversation after the game back in his office, and I think that maybe sometimes he gets a little bit of bad press because he speaks his mind, and if you speak your mind, sometimes people don't like what you say.
Great person to have around the dressing room, very funny, very infectious laugh he had, and as I say, magnificent player.
We hear that a lot.
Scully. Oh, you hear that a lot, yeah.
We hear that a lot about Keane, yeah. Obviously, a lot of players that we speak to, the ex-players, they say he's really funny in the dressing room, really well liked.
He is.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. I think people just get this, you know, image of players sometimes on you know, in their head, and just stick to that when they don't obviously know him. And
I still wouldn't cross him.
No, without a doubt.
He was absolutely brilliant with him, and he is great company. But as a footballer, he was a different animal. But you had to be, you know, if you want to be successful, you've got to have a certain amount of that, and Roy had plenty.
I love him. I think he's great as well. I think he loves pressing buttons and annoying people and seeing how people react on it.
It's one of the best
box office.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's absolutely superb. He doesn't mince his words. He says it as it is, and he's sort of a step up from Scholesy, in that Scholesy is like that as well. But I mean, Roy just takes that, you know, I like what I say, to a completely different level, and that's why people love tuning in to watch him.
But you know, he's one of those type of blokes. He'll speak his mind. If he doesn't like you, you'll know that, and if he gets on with you, you'll have a good time. So let's hope he likes you.
Now that he's in the situation that he's in now, it's refreshing because for me, he's just telling the truth about what he feels at that particular moment.
But there's no doubt in his talent as a footballer. He was one of those people that you looked at and you thought, yeah, everybody needs to give that amount of everything to a football game.
There's not too many better than him that's been in the Premiership. Again, it's hugely entertaining when you watch him on TV.
For some reason, he liked me. I'm totally the opposite. I'm totally non-violent, not aggressive, not particularly opinionated. I don't find a football match a war. I find it a bit of artistry, and I find that you've got to find some creativity to win the game. And we got on like a house on fire. We were best mates for quite. I had a text of him yesterday actually. I love him. He's ace.